It is that time again. We bring you new meals every single week, and while all of them are great, because we wouldn't share them with you if they weren't, we go through at the end of each quarter and pick out our top 5 for that quarter. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. Let's just jump right in. We're gonna start at number 5 and make our way to number 1. Tonight we are having air fryer salmon patties. I am about to open the salmon. Nowhere on here does it say to drain the salmon, but that's very liquidy. We're draining it. I don't see how these patties would form and stay together. Like it would just be mush, right? Let's have a chat. I didn't realize there are bones in this. It's upside down because it was canned upside down. I don't know. Anyway, there's these little round bones in here. And so I've been standing here going through all of this salmon and picking it out. And then I Googled it and I was like, why in the world are there bones in this? Apparently they're perfectly edible and they're a good source of calcium. So I didn't realize that. I've removed all of them. That's just weird. They're these just little round bones. I don't know. And there was a little bit of skin in here too. Y'all, this is not sounding very appetizing. I know, but let's trust the process. Okay, I'm gonna point you down so you can see the salmon that I've already thoroughly gone through and removed all the bones from. So there might be a bone or two left in there. I don't know, but they were very soft. I mean, you could definitely crush them with your finger. It's strange. This is new to me. We're moving on. We're gonna add in 1 large egg. We've got 3 tablespoons of mayo. Yes, I just got finished saying I don't know if I can have mayo right now. But hopefully with it being combined in here, it will kind of not be too flavorful. You need a 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs, a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, and then we need some seasonings. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of dried dill, and then a 1/4 teaspoon each of onion powder, garlic powder, and kosher salt. And we also need about a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, so I'll just do that. Optional is some fresh parsley. We have a little herb garden on our back porch, so I went and grabbed some and chopped it up. Let's mix all of this together. Y'all, I'm really hoping this is good. I've had salmon patties and I like them. Just never attempted to make them. There we go. I'm trying to separate it into 4 even sections. Okay, a couple of these are going to be a little bit bigger than the other 2, but I'm just trying to get them the same thickness. Okay, now what we're going to do is mist the top of these with a little bit of oil as well. These are going in the air fryer at 390 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes until they're golden brown. Look at those. They are so golden brown. I've got our broccoli from earlier today. I warmed it up. Steven, what were you saying? How long has it been since you've had a salmon patty?
I don't know. 3 decades.
Yeah, he said his mama made them a long time ago. Mm-hmm. My mama did not. My mom doesn't love fish, so you want to go grab that tartar sauce out of the fridge?
I kindly do.
It smells good. I hope it is good.
It looks good.
I don't think I can eat the tartar sauce. It smells chemically to me.
Well.
Does it smell weird to you?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm eating it.
Okay, well, good. It's the mayonnaise. There's a fly. Shoe fly. Don't bother me.
Watch this. Boom. That right there.
I need to smell the tartar sauce again.
A little bit on that side like that. Look at that.
That's just pretty.
Look at that.
All right, let's eat.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, I do want an honest review. He said, I'm going to give this an honest review. Well, please do. We never don't give it an honest review.
I can't really give too much of a good review because my nose is still all
I know.
whopper jawed.
Oh, gosh. I hope it's good. Please be good.
Wow.
You can taste it?
I can taste it, and it is delicious.
Oh, gosh. I'm so glad.
I was not expecting that kind of flavor.
Okay.
In a salmon patty?
Yeah.
From the air fryer? When I was a kid growing up and I had these, I was like, we don't do that. So I was a little on the...
You were a little sus?
A little suspicious about this. Is it apprehensive?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yes. I'm seriously need to hype these up.
Okay.
This needs to be hyped up.
Really?
I'm gonna try this. It's really good. I know it's simple, right?
Right. Oh, it's very simple. But here's my question. Does it kind of remind you of like a
Crab cake?
Crab cake?
Texture-wise, yeah.
Okay.
Some similarities, but what it doesn't remind me of is a salmon patty.
So a salmon patty to you has a negative connotation.
It does.
Okay.
But this changes everything.
Okay, good.
This is salmon patties. I can get behind this.
I'm shaking the whole camera. The tartar sauce with this is a must. I make my tartar sauce the same way every single time. I will link that recipe below. It's so simple. This is fantastic.
This is really good.
Yeah, I am pleasantly surprised at how easy this was and how good it is. What?
Look how perfect that thing is cooked.
I know.
From the outside, this might be one of them best dub dinners.
Oh, listen to him. And we were a little sus to start this out with, and now we can't get enough. So y'all should make these. Number 4 is a very recent subby supper, and it is the Tuscan garlic chicken in the crock pot. It is so flavorful, you'll want to drink the sauce. It uses chicken thighs, which are my favorite, but it also uses something that I usually will skip a recipe if it calls for this. Sun-dried tomatoes. I like the flavor of them. I don't like the texture of them. It's totally a texture thing. I'm just looking at them in here. I mean, they just don't look appetizing. They almost look hairy. Anyway, several of you said to put them in the blender, which I think is the route that I'm gonna go. You can still get the flavor of them, but you don't get that texture. We're going with it. It's gonna be an adventure. Come along for the adventure. Okay, I'm going to grate or shred some Parmesan cheese, and we need about 3/4 a cup. Okay, so I've got this little skillet here. Gracie Lou, what's she fussing about?
She was just fussing just a fuss.
She was fussing just a fuss. Okay, I've got this skillet here. I'm heating it to about medium-high heat. I'm gonna add in 1 cup of heavy cream and 1/3 a cup of chicken broth, or in my case, beef broth. Y'all about let me mess up. I just about messed up. We need to saute some garlic first. You need to add about a tablespoon of olive oil, or you can do butter. I think I got distracted by Gracie Lou. I'm gonna blame it on the cat. I don't know how much garlic I just added. I think it calls for 6 cloves, maybe. We're gonna let this saute for like a minute. Let me go ahead and pour my heavy cream and our beef broth. And we're just gonna bring this to a simmer and let it simmer for about 10 minutes or so. While that's doing that, we're gonna go over there and take stems off of spinach. I know we don't need the spinach yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it done. I take that back. We're not taking the stems off the spinach. We are going to do the whole sun-dried tomato thing. Yeah, I cannot open that. This thing is the bomb. See? Works like a charm. Now it does say to chop them. So there's that. We're gonna just really chop them. I mean, I can go with that. It's almost like a paste. So we're gonna get the good flavor, but I'm not gonna get that texture, so. Oh, and a heads up, when you're simmering this, you do wanna turn, I don't think I told you, you wanna turn the heat down. Once it came up to a bubble, I turned it down to about low, and it's just over here simmering. We're gonna let it simmer for just a couple more minutes. Okay, this has been simmering for a good 10 minutes. I've got our Parmesan cheese here. This is very similar to an Alfredo, but we're gonna add in the Parmesan cheese little by little, whisk it around and let it melt. You need about 3/4 a cup of Parmesan cheese. If it gets too thick, you could always add just a little more cream. You just gotta adjust it as you feel you would like. Okay, while that is hanging out and I'm letting the Parmesan melt all the way, I added 6 chicken thighs here. I did trim them up just a little bit. You can use 6, 8, however many your family likes. We usually eat 2 per person. I'm gonna season them with a little bit of sea salt. Don't need too much. And some pepper. We're also gonna add some Italian herb seasoning. That just happened. Luckily I caught it. This came off. My gosh, I'm so glad I caught that and it didn't just splatter all over my kitchen, because this is glass. I've never had that happen before. That's not cool. Members Mark, Sam's Club, I'm looking at you. Okay, I mean, it's back on there. Wow, okay. We got a little extra seasoning here. That's not quite ground up, but that'll be okay.
Let me clean up my mess. Can you see this? It's right here. And it's all over the floor too. But luckily, my leg caught it as it was falling to the ground. Like I sandwiched it in between. Look, I'm gonna show you this mess that's on the ground. Can you see it? It's all over the all over the cabinets. I caught it like this. Oh my, I'll be back. That was a disaster. It could have been worse though. It could have been way worse. Now, we're gonna reach in here and grab our sun-dried tomatoes. Whew, I'm a little shook. Give me a minute. My poor little cream sauce sat over there just a simmering. It behaved though, so we've got that going for us. We're gonna pour this cream sauce over top now. This smells divine. Okay, it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm gonna do this on high for about 3 to 4 hours, just how fast my crock pot cooks, and it usually does really good, so it'll probably be ready at the 3-hour mark. Well, we'll put it at 3 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, I'll see y'all back here in a little while. I still got some more cleaning to do. There's still more. I forgot an ingredient because, you know, craziness. Red pepper flakes, if you want them. I'm just gonna add a little bit in. We do like a little bit of spice to ours. I should have added them straight to the chicken, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna call it good, friends. We're gonna call it good. I just pulled off stems from our spinach. It calls for 2 cups of spinach. So now what I'm gonna do is just stir that in here and just let it wilt. So it's only been 3 hours, it's done. Actually, it's been a little less than 3 hours and it's done. I checked my chicken, it is perfectly fine. So I'm just going to stir this in and let it wilt for just a second. We still have a few of the honey bacon potatoes from the other day. So we're gonna have that along with dinner tonight and we're gonna eat.
Yes, yes, that looks good.
Crazy over here just digs in. I don't even have the camera on.
That chicken is super tender.
Well, good.
Man, that sauce is really good.
So this is a subby supper from Cheryl.
That sauce is drinkable. That is delicious.
It does.
Definitely
smell
get the
so
Tuscan flavors going
Yeah.
on in there.
Yeah.
I've had like a Tuscan tomato soup.
Right.
Obviously, this doesn't have the tomato soup part in there, but
Right.
the Tuscan flavors very rich.
Okay.
It's like some milky kind of a sauce.
Yeah.
You know?
It's almost like it was very similar to an Alfredo when I was making it. Yeah. All right. Cole is over there eating, but I don't know his opinion on it yet.
Wow.
Oh, we got a thumbs up. This is good. This is really good. All right.
This might have to be a favorite.
Oh, okay. Well, I got to dig in. This is delicious. The sauce is amazing.
Yes.
And blending up those sun-dried tomatoes definitely made a difference. I'm not having a problem with the texture. Even Cole likes them. He said, what are these? I said, sun-dried tomatoes. He said, okay. I said, do you like them? He said, yeah. So that's a win.
Do yourself a favor and make sure you have something to sop this sauce up.
Right. We've got the potatoes that's kind of soaking it up, but you might want some bread, like some good crusty bread would be
Man,
good.
it is so good.
This is delicious. This might be a favorite. So, Cheryl, thank you very much. Number 3 is one I was very excited about because I had never cooked with gnocchi before. Sounds like no. Okay, anyway, this is lemon chicken gnocchi. So I've got this butcher box chicken here. Pretty sure there are 2 breasts in here. Sometimes it's just one really large breast inside of here. It's about a pound of chicken in each little thing. So yeah, this is 2. What we're gonna do is cut these in half lengthwise so that they cook evenly. They cook evenly. If you have lemon pepper seasoning, you're gonna use that. I don't have that. So I'm just gonna zest some lemon and add some pepper and a little bit of salt and maybe a little garlic powder. We're just gonna wing it, okay? Let's add just a little bit of salt to each side, some cracked black pepper, and some lemon zest. We're gonna add some lemon juice to the recipe as well, but without this lemon zest, it may not be too lemony. And let's flip them, wash our hands again, and do the same thing to the other side. Over here to our large skillet, let's heat this to medium high. And while that's heating up, let's add a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon or so, as well as a tablespoon of butter. We're just gonna let that melt and heat up before we add our chicken. I'm already forgetting stuff. I mean, would it be Mandy in the making if we didn't forget stuff? Let's add just a little bit of garlic powder to our chicken too. I'll season the other side once it's in the skillet. So we just want to cook this chicken all the way through on both sides. This should take 6 to 10 minutes, just depending. I've got a couple of pieces that are a little bit thinner and then a couple of pieces that are thicker. You just want to cook it all the way through before we remove it and put it on a plate. Okay, I'm still letting this one go because it was a little bit thicker on the end. These 3 are done, so they're over here resting. You can tent this with aluminum foil if you want to, but let me let this finish and then we'll move on. So I got distracted while I was cooking and I let some of it get just a little too brown. So I did wipe this up with paper towel and I added some fresh olive oil in there, and I've turned my heat down to medium. So now we're just gonna add just a couple of teaspoons of minced garlic. We're just gonna let this cook for about 30 seconds before we move on. I just wanna get that oil really fragrant with the garlic, but I don't want it to burn. Okay, I'm gonna be adding in a half a cup of chicken bone broth. You can just use regular chicken broth. This is just what I had on hand. And then you also need a tablespoon of lemon juice. So I've got a half a lemon that I'm gonna squeeze in here. And then at this point, if you didn't have a ton of dark stuff on the bottom of yours and you just left it, this is where you scrape it up. So any of that extra stuff that's on the bottom, just scrape that up. Let's add in 1 cup of heavy cream, and we're gonna add in 1 pound of uncooked gnocchi. So get that gnocchi down in there in a single layer. And then I'm gonna turn the heat back up just a little bit to about medium high. It says you wanna make sure that your gnocchi is submerged in the liquid. Mine is mostly submerged, but I might have to add just a little more bone broth. Let's do that. And we're gonna let this come up to a simmer and let it simmer for 5 to 7 minutes until our gnocchi is done. I'm gonna come in and stir it every couple of minutes, but this already smells so good. This is just hanging out over here. I just need you to know that I am not to be trusted with Parmesan cheese. I think it is my favorite cheese to just snack on, to get little bites of. My store oddly was out of a block of Parmesan cheese, so I bought this pre-shredded. It was so good. Do you do that too? I've got some broccoli going in there, but this is pretty much done. So the sauce definitely thickens up. That starch from the potato gnocchi thickens it up, which is good. If it gets too thick, you can always add more chicken broth. I had already done that, so I think mine's the perfect consistency. So now, I'm just gonna turn off the heat and we're gonna remove it from the heat as well. Okay, to our potato gnocchi and cream sauce, let's add about a half a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese or grated Parmesan cheese. Let's stir that. Get that to start melting. And we're gonna add in some baby spinach. I went through and removed most of the big stems because that's what I do. You need about 2 cups of this spinach, and it's just gonna wilt down. It's not gonna take long at all. So just toss that in there. Oh my goodness, the cheesiness. I'm gonna, even though I turned this eye off over here, I'm gonna move this back over here just for the heat and let this wilt down. So it had thickened up a little bit too much. I added a little more of the bone broth.
Try to sneak it in there without telling nobody.
Listen to you, you sound so nasally.
I am nasally.
Bless your little heart. Let's put our chicken back in here. We're just gonna kind of nestle it down in there, get it all in that good yumminess. There we go.
I think that's gonna be good.
Well, you ain't gonna be able to taste it.
That is very true.
Okay, you ready to eat?
We gotta wait.
We got 18 seconds until our broccoli finished steams. Look, it looks like it's gonna pop.
That'd be good if we could get that on film.
No.
Tables are turned.
Pressure is on. I'm sitting in the commentator spot. I feel
know.
special.
You are special.
We're about to see how special this description is. Let's see.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Okay, I got some gnocchi, I got some chicken. I got it all. We ready?
I'm gonna do the way you do to me. I'm gonna get right up in there.
Wait, there's something on the camera. Okay, it's better now.
All right.
Okay, so the chicken is cooked perfectly, seasoned perfectly. You can definitely get the lemon flavor, and I love the gnocchi with this because it's so soft.
Like a little gummy texture, maybe?
I don't know if it would be gummy.
No.
No, it's just soft.
Not too gummy.
He's taking a bite, y'all. That's why. Can you taste it?
I got some of that.
You can taste the lemon probably a little bit.
It's like lemon garlicky flavor. A little buttery action in there. Really good. Yeah, that's very good flavor. It's just very Italian.
Y'all, why am I even sitting over here? He's over there. He is shoving food in his mouth. That's why the camera is moving. Because as he leans down to get food, he moves the camera with him.
It is good.
He couldn't wait. I sit over there patiently waiting on him all the time. Y'all, he is just, show your plate. Show what you're doing. He just cutting on into it.
We don't need that knife. Just cut right in there. Get some of this gnocchi. It kind of looks like a garlic clove, that gnocchi.
It does. You want to bring that back over here?
Oh.
This is very good, very simple. Tastes like something you would get at a restaurant. If you were if you're making dinner for some, he's not paying attention, y'all. He's looking at his food. If you're making dinner for someone and you want to impress them, this is one of those meals. You should give it a try. Okay, you may eat. You can hit the record button, turn it off.
Okay.
I just wanted y'all to see him. He's right there.
I'm not feeling too good.
Oh, not bad. He had chicken noodle soup for lunch, but
Man, this stuff right here is probably going to be a new fave.
I can't believe you could taste it that much.
It is so good. Well, I mean, the flavors are coming through. It's like, look, I don't care how much snot you got up in there.
Good
I'm
table
going to make
talk.
you love me.
Good table talk.
I
Thank
love this.
you.
This is really good.
Good.
And for the top two, I'm gonna give the #1 spot to the one that Steven would choose. He's not here right now, he's at work. So I'm gonna give the #1 spot to it, but I think that #2 is the #1. So do with that what you will. In the #2 spot, my personal favorite, that one I would do weekly. Honestly, I would. It's that good. We're gonna have Greek chicken meatballs with a lemon orzo. Okay, so we've got 1 pound of ground chicken. Got 1 large egg. We need 1/2 cup of feta cheese that's crumbled. I don't know that I have quite 1/2 cup, but we're just gonna use whatever is left in here. Some of these larger pieces, I'm gonna break these up a little bit. And then we've got some seasonings. I've got 1.5 teaspoons of dried oregano and then 1 teaspoon each of basil, onion powder, garlic powder, dill, and parsley. These will not lack in flavor, my friends. And then we also have 1/2 teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Been working on this for 5 minutes. So I had to wash my hands and my hands were still a little damp. Not a good combination when you're trying to put this on. Hopefully this other hand is good and dry. I think it is.
You got this, baby.
Okay, there we go, there we go. All right, we ready?
Yes.
I really hope this helps. Okay, it's still, I mean, it's a texture thing. I can still, it's not the best, but at least it's not right up on my skin. I need to form 15 little meatballs, and I guess I need to do that while I still have this. Will you get me a plate?
I will.
Thank you. All right, I'm not sure exactly how large these should be. It said we should get 15 from this 1 pound of ground chicken. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Boom, we did it. Look, mess-free. It's a good day. Let's turn our pan to about medium, just a little bit over medium heat. I've got a large skillet here that we're gonna let heat up. I also have this pot over here. We're gonna boil this water because we are just going to cook our orzo according to package directions before we add the lemon and other ingredients to it. So that's really simple. That'll be going over here while we start on our chicken meatballs. Okay, we are waiting on everything to heat up over there. So we need some lemon zest for the orzo once it's done. And Steven said he would zest the lemon for us.
Zest. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
Oh my.
As long as I get a snort out of my wife,
Wait,
it's all good.
I don't know. Can we, is that copyrighted? Are we allowed to say that?
I doubt it. I'm sure they would be glad that we shouted them out.
All right. Look at that.
That looks good.
Okay, I think our pan is ready. So let's add about a tablespoon of olive oil. And I don't have my gloves on, but that's okay. Let's just start putting these down in there. Oh, we don't have a sizzle yet. Let's wait just a second. Oh, there we go. It's starting to sizzle, baby. You see it?
A little sizzle.
Little sizzle action. Okay. Y'all just missed it. You know what Steven said? He said, what's that song? It doesn't sizzle, sizzle, it boils. And I said, you mean it doesn't jiggle, jiggle, it boils? He was like, oh yeah. Sizzle, sizzle, it boils. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to cook this for about 5 minutes on one side, then we'll flip them all and cook them about 5 minutes on the other side, and then we're gonna end up putting the lid on it and letting them cook all the way through. We'll test them with a meat thermometer and make sure they get up to 165 degrees. You don't want to overcook them though, because then they'll dry out. We've got 1 cup of orzo that we're just gonna boil for about 7 or 8 minutes. Okay, so these middle ones are definitely ready to be flipped. So I'm just gonna gently turn these over. You gotta be gentle because they could fall apart. Ooh, they're pretty. Parmesan cheese for the princess. Okay, it's been another 5 minutes. We have flipped them, kind of moved them around again. And so Steven's gonna put the lid on it. We're gonna let those hang out until they're done cooking. It is now time to drain our orzo, so that's what we're gonna do. So we've got our orzo drained. We're gonna add in about a tablespoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice, which is probably about half of this large lemon. We also need, you can use a couple of tablespoons of butter if you want to, or olive oil. So I already had the olive oil out, so I'm just gonna throw olive oil in. We need about 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. You can use shredded or grated. I was gonna grab more Parmesan. What you doing, boy? Okay, I had a little more grated Parmesan to add in. Now we need to add in our seasonings. Got about 1/4 teaspoon of dill, and then we have a 1/2 teaspoon each of salt, pepper, oregano, and garlic powder. Now we just need to mix that up. And since our meatballs aren't quite done yet, I'm just gonna put a lid on this to keep it warm, and this will be good. I'm gonna take a bite though, because I want one. Steven said, what are we gonna do with the zest? I said, oh, I guess we're gonna add that in there, because I forgot. And now I'm gonna take a little taste test. Oh man.
That good?
Let's check on the chicken, and let's just go in and check our temperature. Oh yeah, they done.
Man, that is really, really, really good. Love the lemon flavors. Garlic. You could definitely get all of the seasonings. It's not bland. It doesn't need a sauce.
No, he kept asking, there's no sauce? That's weird. It doesn't need it?
It's not dry out.
Oh, good.
No.
Cole, do you like it?
Very much.
Very much. He is, he just got back from cutting his grandmother's grass. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
So he's all sweaty over there, but I'm so glad y'all are liking it. I'm gonna dig in. And this was just one of those microwavable broccoli and cheese sauce things. So I just want to keep shoveling this in my face, so I'm just going to jump in here really quick and tell y'all you need to make this. Super easy and quick. So much flavor.
Really good. Highly recommend.
Yeah, it's amazing. Y'all should make it. And coming in at the #1 spot are Steven's personal favorite. That is the Mississippi chicken sliders. He loved these. So did Cole. I think Cole would probably vote that too. So I'm sure most of you have tried Mississippi pot roast. If you haven't, I highly recommend. I've been told a gazillion times to do it with chicken. I don't love chicken breast in the crock pot. The more I learn about it and just the more I've cooked chicken in the crock pot, you really have to be careful with it or it dries out, but chicken thighs won't dry out. So this is so simple. I'm using my smaller crock pot. I am halving the recipe that I saw online, so I'm only doing 4 chicken thighs. If you were doing the whole recipe, you'll need 6 to 8 chicken thighs, but you'll also need 2 things of the King's Hawaiian rolls for later. With our small family, this is all we needed. Next, we're just going to use about 1.5 tablespoons of dry ranch powder. If you're doing this amount and you are using a pack, you'll use about half, 3/4 of the pack, maybe, not quite the whole pack. Now I've got pepperoncinis. We're not going to use the whole thing. I don't know, 4 or 5 of them, and just place them kind of around. And we are going to pour a little bit of the juice in here too. Now we need about 4 tablespoons of butter. I've just sliced it up really small. We're just going to place this all over the top. And optional, but y'all know we love a little bit of heat. I've got some crushed red pepper. Just like a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon, not a lot, just to add a little extra heat. I'm gonna be cooking this on high because it's already the afternoon, but you can cook this low and slow all day, but I'm just gonna do it on high. The chicken is done. We've got the oven preheating. We've got all the ingredients that we need for the sliders portion. Oh, except the Gouda cheese. There's sliced Gouda. Will you get it out for us? I'm gonna use my little mix and chop tool to shred this chicken right here in the crock pot. All right, let's remove the pepperoncinis, babe. Go right ahead.
I love this little tool.
It is great.
A lot of flavor in that water or juice.
It's butter.
Butter.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's some juice in there too, but there's a lot of butter. So I'm just slicing all of these in half. This knife is perfect length for this. It gets it all the way through. Ta-da! So I've got about 1.5 tablespoons of butter here that I just melted. We need about 1/2 tablespoon of the dry ranch powder and about 1/2 tablespoon of dried parsley. Let's just mix that together. This is gonna go on top in just a minute of the rolls. But let's start assembling. We're gonna let this hang out for just a minute. And we've got mayonnaise and spicy brown mustard. Let's layer this on there. I mean, it's gotta be Duke's though. Gotta be Duke's. I can't tell you, have I ever purchased anything other than Duke's in our 23 years of marriage? I don't think I have.
I don't think so.
Okay, now let's do our mustard. Because my mama always had Miracle Whip. My daddy was always a Duke's guy, but my mom always loved Miracle Whip. So I grew up on both. Maybe when we first got married, I got some Miracle Whip, I don't know. Now you're gonna take your chicken and start layering it here on your sliders on that bottom. I'm trying to drain it a little bit as I'm picking it up out of the juices. So I've got sliced Gouda cheese. If you don't like Gouda or if you can't find it at your grocery store, use provolone instead, that's fine. Now here comes our butter mixture. So you're gonna cover this tightly with aluminum foil. And this is going in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes. And then the last 5 minutes, we will remove the foil off the top. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Let's remove the foil. And it's just gonna go back in for just another 5 minutes or so.
That's amazing. Man, that is so good.
Is it a new favorite slider?
Oh man, this is like...
When you have no words, that's a big deal.
How can you possibly get this? I mean, there is just so much to talk about. The flavor of the chicken is unbelievable.
I know.
I mean, it is just unbelievable. You know, the slider's got that like buttery, you know, kind of flavor to it. And then with that chicken flavor, the spiciness of it, that cheese is delicious with this.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad. Cole has already devoured one whole slider. Cole, we get one. Oh, yes. I done good. And I've heard of people doing sliders with their leftover Mississippi pot roast before, but this is excellent. This will probably be in a favorites. I don't have any Gouda for Luda. So my nickname is Gracie Lou, or my name is Gracie Lou, but my nickname is Luda. Have you made any of these dishes? If you had, let us know what you thought about them below. If you tweaked them at all. That's the great thing about recipes. You can tweak it to your family's liking, so I want to hear all about it in the comments. I really appreciate y'all being here week after week, and I will see you next Tuesday with another new video. Thanks, y'all. Bye.